This nifty article came out by Andreas Fietz today, November 3rd, 2014, and I'm going to give it a try. We got my ESXi host here. If we go to the summary tab, you'll see what patch level I'm at and so forth. I am not at the very latest level, and I'm going to want to go ahead and get to the latest level to kick the tires on the native USB 3 support that they've snuck in there. So what do I need to do first? Well, you may have noticed when I began this video, let's dig into the host here, and let's go to manage. I already have some USB 3 devices passed through to a VM. So we're going to want to turn off pass-through and reboot ESXi before we really go very far here. So on this page, PCI devices, you'll see I have a NIC, that's a network adapter, passed through to an OpenVPN appliance. I'm going to leave that alone. But I want to take this Rocket RAID, Rocket PCIe USB 3.0 card and take its 4 ports out of pass-through mode and just let ESXi natively see them. It should also see the USB 3 ports on the motherboard if this goes well. So here we go. Turn those off. And reboot the host. I'm not bothering with maintenance mode. I've got all my VMs to set, shut down gracefully and auto restart and so forth. So now, while that's rebooting, I'll point out that I have video of the reboot process. So I'm using a KVM over IP device. It's basically, think of it as me aiming a video camera at the local console of the ESXi host. Now, for following these directions, we're going to need PuTTY. And I should also point out that if we look at my host here, right? If we go under Manage, Security Profile, Services, SSH is running, and I have it set to auto restart with start and stop with the host. So when this ESXi host comes back up, I'll be able to PuTTY my way right in and do the work. So let's dive in a little bit and look at the instructions. Okay, so we've got a set of directions here that I'll be following. 6 commands. In my case, I do have internet access, so I should be able to download just fine. Notice also that Update 2 is included with this October 2014 patch, so that's good. Step 2 has been replaced. If we look here at a comment at the end, very nice that they thought to tweet to me, which I appreciate, and he found an easier command. So, sorry, for auto load the ESXi module at reboot, that's item 2 here. No, let's load it for this boot. Right here, he's saying in this last paragraph of section 2, if you want to do this, put it in local SSH. So I'm going to try William Lamb's technique, and I'm just going to simply paste this command in there and see how it goes for step 2. Okay, and then step 3, you go to a VM and add ESXi. Now that's been there for a while, but basically in the past it wasn't the ESXi host that had its USB 3 supported through its own local USB ports. It was actually the vSphere web client laptop, say, you were running with Windows maybe. that machine could have its USB 3 devices mapped to a virtual machine, like Windows Server 2012 or something like that. So that wasn't really the same as having USB 3 support. Or you could do VTD. You could do direct pass-through, where you pass the hardware, lock it, keep it from vMotioning. You pass the single USB 3.0 port off to the VM, and then Windows 2012 Device Manager, for instance, would do its little Device Manager dance and see the ESXi controller, and then it would be able to see that one port. But that wasn't really the same as saying ESXi Hypervisor actually had full USB support. Okay, so let me show this article here a little bit. That's interesting. Caps lock got stuck on. Yeah, that's what happens with live video. Here we go. USB 3 support, sort of. Quite a while ago, I wrote this article that explains 2 years and 2 months ago how the support works in 5.1. And it's got me walking through a video and explaining the whole thing. And I did a little bit of performance testing at 1.2. And yeah, I got near native speeds. I think it was about 70–80% of native speed. Okay, looks like the host is rebooted, so that's good. We're ready to get to work here. It's not 6 commands. Sorry, it's less than that. So let's get this a little wider. There we go. Still a little bit awkward there. Okay, we want line 2. Not sure what it just did. Let's give it a try, or we'll do one line at a time. Okay, so I'm firing up PuTTY. Okay, we're in. Right click. Oh, it did the whole thing. All right. I was going to talk you through one line at a time, but should be okay. Looks like it executed the commands without incident. And at this time, it should be pulling down this bundle. And the last command, reboot the host, is also going to happen as soon as the bundle's finished. So let's give it a little more vertical space here. Should echo some stuff at the end, I suspect. Okay, I'm going to try to escape. Right click, paste. Don't really see any evidence reboot's happening until PuTTY finally corrupt. So yes, it's happening. All right, and now the local console is showing good evidence as well. So of course, vSphere web client's not going to log in because the VCSA appliance is down for sure. Okay, so we need not see that module start, nor do we expect it to, because we still have that command in our clipboard that we want to do. We can get PuTTY ready here. Right click, restart that same session. Right click and paste. So okay, that worked. Okay, I'm seeing a whole lot of USB devices. I'm not seeing the Mushkin USB 3 key, though. What about this command? Right click, paste. Well, we have a problem there. So it's not actually called ESXi. I think he's got a typo there. So we scroll up and look at the actual acronym, ESXi. So let's HCI, and we're good. If we succeed, we should be able to see not just the ability to add ESXi to a VM, no big deal, but to actually connect a USB 3 device to a VM and get decent performance. That'll be the trick. Since it's rebooted, we should type the command to see if anything actually happened. LSUSB, right? Let's do that. So get putty going again here. That doesn't look good. That's a smaller list. Right, we have no nano editor here, so we're going to have to fire up VI. Or we can kind of wimp out and just use WinSCP. So let's go ahead and do the original plan here. I'm going to add this line to this file. Okay, good way to check or build confidence would be to make sure the edit just happened. There's our sentence, our one-liner. Time to reboot again. There's the command, LSUSB. That's good. So we got the full complement of stuff showing. So should be in good shape from here forward. No reason we can't bring up edit settings over here. See if anything changed now that I've moved that mushkin. Seems unlikely. Host USB device, add, and go for pick from the list. Huh. You know, 16 gig. That must be the mushkin. Okay. So, okay, I've seen those anomalies before as well in previous builds, so I guess we're going to ignore that. How about right-click here and say Device Manager? Let's have a look at the USB 3.0 section. We've got an unknown device. It's not so good, but this is what we care about, the USB 3. That is a good sign. Next, let's do the fun part. Let's add it. Let's add the mushkin there. So what we should see is Device Manager do its thing, and File Manager should pop up a new device as well. Right? We show this PC view. So here we go. Edit settings. Add host USB device. Pick it from the menu. Click OK. Boom, stuff happened on the right. Device Manager is recognizing something. a VMware virtual USB hub. Nice. And there's my Mushkin. This is good. This went well. Now we want to see what kind of speed it gets. So, how about we Bing for it? Fine, we'll use that search. Okay, so what do we want? We want USB 3.0 speeds. Very. Not sure that's going to work. It worked. Great. All right, so this little utility here will help us to benchmark the speed. And I believe I tested this brand. I'm hoping Ventura Plus. What's that? Mushkin. Yeah, that's the one. So I benchmarked it. We know what it should look like. Now let's see what we actually get. So we need the tool. Here we got file name extensions now showing. Oh dear. Some .NET prereq apparently. It's not on Windows 10 by default. Sorry about that. Kind of done with all this, right? You seen what we need to see there? Although it'd be kind of fun to see who makes it. That's Microsoft. So is that one. You remember it said something about a hub? VMware. So that would be this generic super speed hub. Microsoft branded. I don't know. We don't really know what it did. Meanwhile, this Windows feature is still cruising along, getting installed in the background. Okay, let's see if we can simplify our desktop a little. And I sure thought I made an icon. That's the icon. All right. Did it get a drive letter? E. Sounds good. Pick E. See the word Mushkin there. So apparently Kingston is who makes Mushkin. And what a rip. Now I don't have an instance of Windows to boot my VZilla server to. I only run ESXi on there. So to really compare the native speed on the same exact hardware and the same exact USB port on the motherboard, this ASRock 2011 vintage Z68 Sandy Ridge motherboard, that's hard. But the fact that I have screenshots that give me some sense of what it should perform like, I'll know quickly if I'm in the right ballpark. And based on the numbers I'm seeing with my eyeballs there, I already feel confident we're getting USB 3.0 speeds in a VMware environment, which is awesome. That's kind of big news. So you remember this? Let's get the chart up. And that's where we're going to want to look at that report. ATDO benchmark is also another tool you might have available to you or might be more familiar with. So as it wraps up the test, we should see it open up a URL with the test results that anybody can see. Okay, it's finished. And there we have it. We are getting what appears to be native speed, really. If anything, slightly faster. So this is happy news. You'll see the overall, it looks like they take an average. And reads and writes are actually slightly faster than this test on the left. Again, I just should point out what that test is. It's me testing back 2.5 years ago. And what is my test rig? On my laptop. All right. So it was a Windows 8 laptop, ThinkPad W520. So yeah, it's not really apples to apples, but they're so close in the results that I'm quite pleased and satisfied that I'm now in possession of a capability I wanted for years, since early 2011, to natively support attaching USB 3, consumer devices right to any old VM I want, or modern VM, I should say, like 2012 or Windows Server 10 or Windows 10 or Windows 8.1. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and thank you for visiting tinkertry.com.